All right, so this video is for the class crash course offered live on OutSchooled called Converting Fractions, Decimals, and Percents. And at the end of your workbook, you have like this little quiz type thing. What did you learn in this class? Can you turn your fraction to a decimal to a percent? And you're asked to just fill in the missing pieces of this chart. So I'm going to give you all the answers so you can grade yourself and see how you did. And then I'm going to go through and show you how to do it. Okay, so hold on a minute and I'm going to throw these answers up on the board. Okay, so here are the answers, and obviously you can't see them in one page, so what I want you to do is go ahead and pause, and in a few seconds, and when you're done correcting what you can see, hit unpause because I'm about ready to move it down. Alright, so hopefully you pause because I'm moving it down. Okay, so go ahead and pause and grade those and make sure you got all the right numbers, and then come back. All right, so hopefully you pause. And these are all fractions that you should probably memorize, that you should know, kind of let them roll off the tongue. If you don't know them now, it's okay. But a good thing to do would be to, let me change the color here. Cut these into strips, okay? And fold them up at like accordion style. And quiz yourself. And like one day quiz yourself with all the fractions. Do you know that decimal value and its percent value? Next day fold it up so the decimal is on top. You know, do different things like that because these are all common fraction, decimal, percent values that you should learn. Okay, so if you divided 20 into this, you would have had to add 2 zeros and found out it was 0.05. Okay, which is what I did here. Now if I move that to, I put 50%. I hope you guys got that one wrong because it should have been 5%. All right, this one's pretty easy. It's in the tens place, so to make it a fraction, it's 1 over 10. Move that decimal 2 places to get your 10%. All right, this one is, the last digit is in the hundredths place, so to make it a fraction, I put 125 over, it's not in the hundredths place, it's in the thousands. So I got to put that value over 1,000. And to make it a decimal, I just moved that decimal 2 places, making it 12.5. Now this one, I'm going to do it a different way. You could divide, but there's also the proportion method if you liked that. Okay, that means multiply both sides by 100. That's going to give me 100 over 5, which reduces down to 20. So it's 20%. Now I have to move that decimal place 2 places this way to come up with my 0.2. You know what? These are really small. Let me zoom in. All right. So in this one, all I had to do is put my decimal point in, move it 2 places, and I get, should have put that there, 0.25. Okay, this is in the hundredths place, so I need to put 25 over 100 like I did here, and if I reduce it, it's 1/4. Now this is what you should know it by. You should, anytime you see 0.25, you should automatic, oh, that's a 1/4. Okay. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to move this decimal point 2 places to the left, making it 0.30. I keep forgetting that 0. That 0 is in the hundredths place, so I need to make it a 30 over 100. Now, I could have said that 0 is not important and the 3 is in the tenths and made it 3 over 10. Or I could have made it 30 over 100 and reduced down the 3 over 10. All right, I'm going to move this decimal 2 places to the right, making it 37.5%. If I make this a fraction, I got to look at the last digit. It's in the thousands. So I'm going to put that numeric value over 1,000. I can reduce it down. In my first step in reducing, I did 75 over 200. Saw that I had to keep going, and that's 3 over 8. All right, this one, since last time we did proportions, I'm going to do dividing. 5 into 2 doesn't work, but 5 can go into 24 times. Now, I can make that 0.4 0.4, or I can make that 0.40. Both say the same thing. If I say I have 0.4 cents, it's still 4 dimes, which is 40 cents. Same thing as if I say 0.40. All right, move that decimal 2 places and I get 40%. This is one of the most common ones, 0.5. All right, so if I turn that into a fraction, it's in the tens place, which is 5 over 10. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm laying my hand down too much on the pad. So it's 1/2, because 5 over 10, 5 is half of 10. If I move it 2 places, I get 50%. All right, now in this one, I just moved that decimal 2 places, making it 62.5. And then I got to look at this. It's in the thousands place, so I put the 625 over 1,000. All right. And then I can reduce that down. As you can see, I gave you a couple different versions. We talk about in class how reducing a fraction is a good skill to know, but it's not the end-all be-all. All right. So this one I can't do proportional method, so I'm going to go ahead and divide them. 3 cannot go into 2, so I'm going to do that. 3 can go into 26 times, which is 18. All right. And then it's going to be a repeater, okay? It's just going to keep doing it and doing it over and over again. So remember, I go to the first repeating digit, and I put the repeater bar over top, and it's 0.6 repeating. Now when I turn that into a percent, instead of putting a 0 here, I'm going to put a 6, because this means that 6 keeps repeating. So a 0 doesn't go here. There's nothing in that space. It's actually a 6. So 66%. In this one, I put my decimal right here. I move it forward 2 places, making it 0.70. That 0 is in the hundreds place, so I can put it 70 over 100. Or I can say this one's not important. It's 7 over 10. Whichever way you want to do it is fine. All right, so I just have to move this decimal 2 places to the right, giving me 75%. That 5 is in the hundreds place, so it's just 75 over 100, which reduces down to 3/4, and this is a very important fraction. All these are very important fractions that you should know in real life. All right, I'm going to do the proportional method on this one. To get rid of that 100, opposite operation, multiply both sides by 100, cancel, cancel. This is going to give me 400 over 5. Okay, 5 goes into 400 80 times. So my percent is 80%. Okay, so if I do it this way, I get my percent first. Turn it into a decimal. I put my decimal place in, move it 2 places to the left. So this would be 0.80. Or I can say that 8 is not important. That 0 is not important, and remove it and make it 0.8. Last one. Okay, so this is in the tens place. So I can make my fraction 9 over 10. Now to make it a percent, I move it 2 places this way, and I have to fill in with a 0 because there's no repeater bar. All right, and it becomes 90%. I hope you enjoyed this class and you learned a lot, and I hope to see you in more crash courses or semester-long classes that I offer on outschool.com. See you guys around.